Mr. Speaker, the Assembly of First Nations has added its voice to the chorus of Canadians speaking out against the Conservatives' Unfair Elections Act. Today's testimony revealed that urban Aboriginals and those living in remote communities will all be negatively impacted by this bill. These are communities where voter participation is already very low. Why is the minister ignoring First Nations testimony and stubbornly moving forward with changes that will disenfranchise so many Canadians?
The Honourable Minister of State.
Mr. Speaker, all Canadians, I think, would agree that it's reasonable that when you cross a border, you should be asked to bring ID, that when you get on an airplane, you should be asked to bring ID. And, in fact, I heard somebody claim that it's not a constitutional right. In fact, mobility rights are in the Constitution. Crossing into the border is a basic right. But when you exercise that right, you have to provide identification so that our Canadian authorities know who you are. The very same is true for voting, Mr. Speaker. It's a reasonable position, and Canadians support it.
The Honourable Member for Hamilton Mountain.
Mr. Speaker, the minister is just not convincing. The reality is people started talking about changing election laws after widespread voter suppression calls during the last election. Calls traced back to the Conservative Central Database. And yet the minister's changes not only don't improve oversight of live calling, they effectively deregulate it. Mr. Speaker, this clearly isn't about saving single moms from red tape. Why are they changing the law to make it harder for election authorities to track the Conservatives' live calling?
The Honourable Minister of State.
Speaker, I would invite her to point to the section in the bill that deregulates automated calls, or live calls for that matter. Live calls are not regulated currently. We are bringing in a registry for every single live call campaign that is purchased by a campaign, by a political party or a candidate from a call center. Now, if the NDP believes that volunteers like grandmothers or stay-at-home moms who are volunteering at a campaign office should be forced to register with a national regulator, I'm sorry, I just disagree with them on that.
Honourable Member for Hamilton.